Hello, everyone. Welcome back and welcome to round two. I am joined in the booth by our most recent victor and my once and future opponent, Packy. Packy, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Savage. That first game was pretty rough, but hey, that's Dr. Mario. You got to take what he gives you, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, really nice job coming back after that game one looked a little bit rough. So we have our first match, as I said, of round two. We've got our number one seed Frank versus our number nine seed JonDatFlindo. What can you tell me about these players, Packy?
Well, Frank needs little introduction because everybody here is well aware of how good he is. Look at that nice fat yellow log right there that he just got in there. He is averaging a 658, a sub 7 in this round, which is phenomenal. And
Yeah,
he's basically getting a whole minute on the average of John Flindo, which is a 758.
and 758 is good, let me tell you. I mean, one of the interesting things was I think Frank set the best time ever in this round a couple of months ago. I think it was against me, and I could just only laugh to see how fast he was going. And it was a good time for 6 through 9. So it was pretty outstanding. And Flindo has just been on fire. So I'm really excited about this. And we have readies from both players.
Lindo has made it to the second round in the lane, four consecutive brackets now, so good for him.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1 pills. We have our countdown. Yeah, and John was droughted for a long time. I think he was feeling pretty frustrated about how things were going. And then just all of a sudden, we knew he was capable of it, but just turned it on. And it's just been really great to see.
It's like John Flindo is really trying not to clear out those reds in column three, but now he has little choice to. I think he just wanted to preserve that because he didn't want to waste any pills there.
Yeah, his playstyle has gotten to be a lot more efficient, trying to not have that drop time. Now Frank looks like he's looking to take these blues out horizontally on the right hand or left hand side. He does it. Yeah, and the great thing about Frank is you're going to see him setting up and beautiful L from him. He's just so patient. He's willing to hold out for things and it works.
Yeah, meanwhile, John Flindo has jumped out to an early 7 virus lead. He's gotten some very
Mhm.
fortunate early RNG. He pulled off a swim move earlier to clear out some viruses. He's looking really good so far.
Oh my gosh, last night his swims were so uh, they were so good. So he's capable of doing it. Just it, yeah. I
Maybe one day we'll call him
tongue
John
tied.
Flipper.
So Lindo is setting up for these reds on the bottom of the board horizontally. Frank, he's in a little bit of a pickle here in terms of all that blue that's on the board. Luckily, opened up some red, but just as soon as he did, it's gone, and now it's just a yellow blue show, and he needs it pretty badly. But look at this. He's
This
gonna
is
bring
right here
down
is going to clear out almost all of his viruses. So he's been pretty much set up the whole time. He just needed the right pill to do it.
awesome out at a 144. It's amazing, like, the patience that he has. You can then see right before it's gonna fall, oh, that was the plan the whole time.
Yeah, but a giant cluster of blues on the top of his board.
Mm,
The thing
yeah.
about this level block in particular, levels 8 through 11, this is pretty much the point where your boards are still pretty spread out. So it's really kind of a wild card whether or not you'll get an optimal board to play with.
Mhm.
RN because like when you get to the later levels, 12 and onward, it's there has to be a lot of viruses on the board. So you're gonna get a whole lot bunched together, and eventually you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna get a lot of consecutive clears. You're gonna be able to clean things out, and you're gonna be able to play with just about every pill. 8 through 11 is still a bit of a wild card because it's just not quite at that point yet.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely, and you're still beholden to RNG a little bit, but you do have to start making those, big brain thoughts. Now, it is 7 to 12, this is still pretty close, and, Flindo needs a lot of red, that double red bailing him out in good time. Now, it looks like he might be working on a fat log setup down the right-hand side at the bottom. So we'll see, but
Yeah,
he
there's a
yeah.
lot there's a lot of horizontal setups on the bottom of JonDatFlindo's board right now, and he's gonna get them right here.
Mhm. Oh, there it all happens. Excellent. Just as Frank's out at about a 3:20. Excellent time from Frank. So he's going to be setting up this top. Now he's got a lot of blue on his top line and
Yeah, that happened
not
to him
no
last
use
level.
for red. No use for red.
Yeah, but he's not getting a lot of red either, so RNG is smiling
Mhm.
upon him thus far.
Right.
Nice
Oh,
swim by
beautiful
Frank.
swim from him. Yeah. And
You cannot make that swim on high speed, you can only do that on medium, because he
yeah.
had to go through 2 columns before getting the pill over to where he needed it.
Yeah, I mean, the swim is just a mystery to me. It's not something that I can do because of the high speed, so I'm just always so impressed when people are able to do that. Meanwhile, John.Flindo's board, he's about 9 viruses behind, but this is really a speedrunner's dream, aside from the fact that too much of it is blue for my taste. But, look at all these doubles that are here. Things will come off the board when he gets favorable blitzes, Packy.
Yeah, right now his board is very favorable. This is his opportunity to catch up while Frank deals with the spires in level 10.
Mhm. Yeah, but he's already sort of unpacked those as well.
Yeah, that's
So
gonna yeah, this has pretty much been leveled out already.
mhm,
Here's a fat log all blue.
very impressive. So Flindo's gonna have to deal with the blue on the top of this board. Now notice he's got a double blue would be optimal for column 7 and 8, but, we'll see
Yeah,
how this goes.
you definitely don't want to waste any blues here. Takes the red horizontal, just doing what he can with what he's got. This double blue is going to be a big help. Take out 3 more blue viruses.
Mm,
He still needs a
interest
lot of blue help.
yeah, and interesting putting the blue red in column 7, using it differently. So this double blue is gonna help him. He's gonna be out at a 528. Frank down to 41 viruses. Now, navigating sort of a lack of use for red doesn't really need blue either, just starting to open it up and manufacture some use for it. But he's going to need to take off. He's going to need to take off these reds,
Hmm.
and it looks like if he's got a well-timed double yellow or a horizontal double yellow, yeah, he's setting up big brain stuff to cascade down. Look at that! Boom, boom. Takes a lot of viruses off the board.
John Datflindo trying to just make up some ground, getting some quick horizontal and zero drop clears. He realizes he's behind the 8 ball. He's only behind by 7 viruses. He was down by 9 or so when the level started. So keeping pace with Frank thus far.
Mhm. You can tell Frank's thinking about how to deal with these reds here. Nice. He's going to get the horizontal down into the vertical. Um, but yeah, he's able to make decisions on the fly. A lot of us, once we see that next box, we're locked in. We've got the DAS going, but he makes adjustments really well.
That spire in column 5 is a pressure point for John Datflindo right now, who's behind by half
Hmm.
a dozen.
Yeah,
Nice
but
zero
manages to
drop
clear
clear
it
right there,
out.
though.
Hmm. And I think part of it's okay because yellow is not something that he needs to stress too much about because it's not that, abundant. Wow.
Nice D sandwich there with the drop combo.
Yeah, holding his own here.
But once again, he just needs a whole bunch of blue, and all Frank needs is 1 more yellow fragment to finish this level. And
Mhm,
there
he's
it
out
is,
at
a
a
716.
716. Really nicely done. And look at I mean, Flindo's board is so nice and clean right now. That's just a testament to his skill. It's just, not a lot of wasted stuff. Nice horizontal and
Nice
just needs
horizontal
2
there,
more
yeah.
blues. Yeah. So a good finish for John.
739.
Yeah, GG's.
And that 716 is below Frank's average. So
Nice.
that just gives you an idea of how good he is in round 2.
Right, we got readies from both players, so ready for game 2. And 3, 2, 1, pills.
A
All
one
right.
nothing lead for Frank going into game two. And this board a little bit jagged for JonDatFlindo at the start, and now Frank is out of the gates. Interesting boards here.
Mhm. Yeah, Flindo's gonna sort of be manufacturing stuff with that red, I guess, and just ooh, every time he clears something out, it's like
Ugh,
the only thing he
yeah,
needs.
it's tough to it's a little tough to swallow when you get pills like that because the same pill 4 times in a row that you don't really need,
Ooh, this
and
is gonna
you
be
end
so
up
good.
just there
Oh,
we go.
yes. I loved that. I'm sure you could tell.
Oh
Um,
yeah, we love that.
so Frank up ahead by about 6 viruses. A nice board here, has a good horizontal setup with the yellows, uh, has those 2 double reds. Interesting, did not take the 2 red stacks down the right-hand side of the board at the same time, but has lots of opportunities to work on this with the blue, so gets that done. A 2 a couple of blue reds would be optimal, of course, not getting them right now.
Some nice clears on the bottom of JonDatFlindo's board to get everything sorted out. He's once again at that point where he needs a bunch of blue.
Mhm, and all Frank needs is 2 yellows, and he will
Nice
be
T
out.
clear.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Probably looking for a no drop horizontal clear or a one row drop horizontal clear, really. There
Mhm.
we go. And now he can go up top because he can just clear this and he'll be done at 150.
Frank telegraphing right now that he would like to take this yellow out in column 6 by maybe tucking a yellow blue off to the right. It's not
That
really
looks like what that's what he's looking for.
yeah,
And
but
it looks like he's
he
starting
abandoned
to
that.
abandon the plan.
Mhm. Yeah, now he gets it, but now he doesn't he's gonna have to go on the right hand or sorry, left-hand side in order to make this T happen with the red. And the garbage oh, so
Nice drop
good.
combo by JonDatFlindo.
Yeah.
Trying to close the gap here. A crucial game too. Nice T clear into a drop combo as well.
Yeah, this is awesome. And Frank's looking a little bit spired actually, and having columns 5, 6, 7, and 8 all be red on top. Not the best looking situation there, Packy.
And but with that triple clear, the game will practically be tied up. Excuse me.
You know, I just burped too. Sorry, sorry.
It happens.
Burp strats. Yeah, look at John Flindo, this yellow blitz coming in clutch for him. Now, I would love to see him get a double red to make a sweet tea because he's building up
Like what
that.
I like where he put that double blue. He's setting up a
Yeah,
drop combo to get that
this is
once he
all
gets
going to
that
happen.
cross.
Look at that. Oh, so much of that comes off the board, and he is now in a little bit of a lead.
329. JonDatFlindo is out of 9.
Yes. And Frank out at a 335. So virus count, not much different, but Lindo has a tiny lead, able to get things a little bit set up. You can see him thinking, not sure. I think he has a misdrop with that little blue piece of garbage there, but
I think he was debating what to do with that pill in
yeah.
particular.
Hmm.
This is a timely double yellow though. That's going to help him deal with the little situation in column 7 and 8. But now he
Hmm.
has no access to red viruses until he knocks out those 2 blues and immediately gets accessed again.
Yeah, and Frank has no access to yellow. His only option is to sort of stack on top if he wants to clear that yellow there that's in 3, now he's open to do that because of clearing those reds horizontally. So now he's open for business there, a little bit more diverse here, but still behind by a couple of viruses.
Yeah. John Datflindo's board is a lot more bunched up than Frank's is. John's got a couple of mini spires going on in columns 1 and 4. He's already dealt with the one in column 4, however.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm wondering if he's gonna wait on this blue yellow in column 7 and 8 until he can underclear with the blue yellow in 6 and 7. I think that might be a smart play, but it might cause some drop time. Nope, he's not going to go for it.
It looks like he's going to deal with that yellow virus in column 3 vertically, which is probably the right play at this point because he really doesn't have room on either side, which ultimately makes him much more dependent on red pills. But he's going to get them,
Mhm.
and he's going to be out at 10 in 5:36.
Oh, and Frank is 5 viruses behind, and his best move would be to make a D sandwich here, get that yellow out of the way, and then tuck a red into column 1. And you see he's set up to do that. He gets this last red, and he is out at a 550. But he's already 10 viruses behind Flindo.
This is going to get interesting because we know that Frank is capable of just going on a rampage at any given moment.
Yes, yes, we are. Now, Flindo did say that his goal was just to take one game off of Frank. He didn't even have his sights set high enough to win the whole match, and that makes sense based on Frank's track record. But Flindo is playing like he is on fire right now, so this is very exciting to watch.
A 16 virus lead right now for JonDatFlindo. Outstanding.
Yeah,
Just needs to finish
definitely.
the job.
Oh, this
Set
double
up for that
red
vertic or
great.
horizontal clear perfectly. Here come the horizontals raining down.
Yes, this is awesome. He's got these setups
He's
really
got a T
well.
set up now,
Got this.
and now
Hell
he's got another
yeah.
horizontal clear set up, a D sandwiched at that.
Yeah, there are options on this board, and that's what's giving him the runaway lead and the win right now.
Wow.
So he just needs 3 reds, and
I
he
see him
gets
peeking
them.
over at the screen in slight disbelief.
Yeah, there we go,
He
buddy.
completely crushed this game too.
Yeah. I mean, that last level was truly outstanding. We saw
Look at the
all of the
joy on his face
options.
right now.
Yeah, so plenty of players have taken that elusive game off of Frank. It feels really good to do that. But now the question is, can he recreate it?
Can he do it one more time and pull off the upset of upsets?
That would be the kind of Cinderella story that would be just insane for this year-end tournament, don't you think?
Sorry, say that again?
This upset would be the craziest Cinderella story
Oh,
of this tournament.
hands down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got righties from both players. This is it. Our first game of round 2. If this is any indicator of what we're going to see later on in this tournament, I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah.
3,
Man,
2, 1, pills.
it's easy to start shaking a little bit with excitement when you reach this point against a player like Frank. So maybe the
Yes.
key right now for JonDatFlindo is to just relax, play your
Mhm.
game.
Right. Exactly. The adrenaline's probably pumping right now. And interesting board for Flindo. Needs a bunch of blue, needs a bunch of
That's a
yellow.
nice L clear right there.
Really great. Really great combo. And Frank setting up for his own combo. Look at all of
Oh,
that
Lord,
melting
a
off of the board.
gigantic combo. Love
Yes.
it.
Excellently done. Has so much red on this board right now, so he is going to have to manage that. That twist there in column 5 and 6 doesn't look like it was the ideal placement for that blue red at the moment, but he is setting up. He can use that to maybe make a horizontal down later.
Some interesting decisions to make for Flindo right now. Oh, nice
Oof,
cross clear right there.
it's a whole other level for him. I'm stoked.
Right now, he really needs like yellows and blues to get through the rest of his board.
Hmm.
But you see those two yellow viruses just screaming at him in columns 1 and 2. They just act
Yeah,
as They just act as barriers for those last couple of clears you need to get, but right now, he's gonna be out in 1:30, which is a really good time for 8.
Yeah, and Frank still has 8 viruses left to go. He was able to wait a long time for that red garbage to be useful for a horizontal, but he still needs a bunch of red packies. So he's going to be waiting on that. Luckily, he's getting it, and then he'll have this blue horizontal. So he's just going to need one more blue piece, and he's going to be out at a 152.
JonDatFlindo has a dozen virus lead at the moment. It's still early, but he's
Mhm.
gotta feel really good about where he is right now.
Yeah, he is tucking all the way to the bottom of the board. Um, I might be making platforms just so that stuff that's sloped up high and to the left doesn't take a lot of drop time. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that yellow red in columns 3 and 4. We'll have to see for Flindo. But the stuff packed up pretty tight and it's looking a little tough. I want some red to bail him out pretty soon.
Yeah, he's spired in columns 1 and 2 right now, and he's not getting the right pills to attack it until just now.
Right.
So that's kind of hamstrung him to this point, and it's allowed Frank an opportunity to close the gap a bit,
hmm
but he still has the virus lead.
Yeah. So Frank has a good horizontal opportunity for those blues opening up. Now, he's actually got blues on the right and blues on the left. And notice that big red barge may look like a lot of garbage, but it's going to all fall down and clear out everything on the right hand side if he takes those blues out horizontally, Packy.
And looks like he's all set up to clear out column 8 at his leisure. And since this isn't red, he's going to go ahead and use it to trigger the combo.
Nice.
Still maintaining a lead, but he needs reds, and the doctor's not giving it to him. This is a real test for John right now. Looks like he's gonna. All
Oh, he
right, he
was
holds
holding
out
out for
just a
that.
cross
Yes, the
clear,
drop T.
and
And
they're
they're
out at
out.
practically the same time. Like, oh, there's about a 4 seconds difference between them. But
Yeah.
that end
So,
game for Frank just catapulted him back into
mhm.
this thing.
Right, and so he is in a slight lead right
Oh, and here
now.
comes the cross clear for John.
That was awesome. Yeah, these 2 so evenly matched right now. It's a beautiful thing.
We are almost halfway through level 10, and John Datflindo still has a small virus lead. He see if he can hang on. Decides not to get the lightning bolt there and instead gets the drop double.
But Frank goes ahead and gets a lightning bolt really nicely done. Now he's going to have to deal with a lot of red on this top line. And I think see him signaling in column 2 a possibility that he has advanced thoughts for maybe taking those reds out horizontally, but it's going to be a lot of layers of red in order to get down there. So he is abandoning that for the moment. We're not seeing that possibility anymore. But yeah, he's got to get red and he's got to get it fast because John's going to start pulling away again.
John hesitating a little bit, maybe deciding
hmm
that he's going to drop that down once by clearing those out horizontally. There you go. Nice
Yes.
horizontal drop combo.
Yeah.
And
And the
once
thing
again,
is,
he's out to a 10 virus lead that's just dwindled down to 8 because Frank got another clear going. Just one more red, and he's going to be out at 527.
yeah, this is amazing. So he's got to stay really calm and he's just got to keep playing his game as you said. He's just really got to keep that going. Now he needs a lot of blue to make this work, but look at
Here
that
comes a cross
dropping
clear.
that blue down makes it sweet tea for him. Drops down to a horizontal. Really nicely done. Makes a little bit of garbage. Now, Frank taking a bunch of drop time there, just needs a couple of blues. He'll be out free and clear.
I'll tell you what, I'm shaking a little bit right now
I
because
am.
we are seeing something incredible happen right now.
I
With all
know.
due respect to Frank, I've this could be the biggest upset we've seen, period.
Yeah, I mean,
Stacks up the double blue just to drop it on top of the double blue below. Very good foresight by John Datflindo.
Yeah, and he's luckily getting a bunch of red yellow, which is exactly what he needs. Really little use for blue at the moment, but dropping that down in garbage. And he's got a 16 virus lead over Frank right now, who needs a lot of yellow. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's running a little scared right now, Packy.
It could be. I mean, I've felt it myself so many times when you know you're about to be upset and you just start to panic a little bit.
Hmm.
Frank is an extremely smart player, but he has a situation right now where it's going to be
This
very
is
difficult to get that blue horizontal at the top of his board, while JonDatFlindo now has a 20 virus lead.
I
I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. With all due
I
respect to both players,
I
this is
mean,
one of the
this
most
is
incredible things I've ever seen.
I agree. I can't believe this. And now Frank finally getting that drop giant combo off the board, but it did not really make a dent in this. So if Flindo keeps getting the blue that he needs, it's gonna be a done deal, Packy.
This is it. He's a
He's
red and two blues away, and here's two of them, and here it
Oh
is at
my
7:46. A
god.
titanic upset by JonDatFlindo. He will be going to semifinals Sunday.
JonDatFlindo delivering Frank his first loss of the year, the 9 seed, who for the first months of this year was completely winless, kind of frustrated, just been on a tear. And you see, he is in complete disbelief. And Packy, I mean, this is like the best thing I've ever seen.
It
Like you
is.
said.
There's look at that expression on his face. That's how everybody feels for this guy right now. What an
Oh,
incredible job, John.
well, that is some bracket busting if I've ever seen it. I I mean, luckily he doesn't have to go on and play another round tonight because I don't know how you possibly would.
And kudos to Frank for finishing out his run, because that's gotta be a disheartening spot to be in, because when there's total elation on one side, you can imagine how the other side feels sometimes. So respect to Frank, who's really been the best of the best for so long.
Yeah, and wow, proving that, you know,
And
this
applause from Frank to salute the
yeah,
winner. Good
excellent
man, good
sportsmanship.
sport.
Yeah.
Holy
be-
smokes.
well,
The reverse sweep from JonDatFlindo. Can
our
we add another match of the year candidate?
a late yes, a late entry. Well, folks, I mean, I would say that that's it for tonight. That's all our hearts can take, but we got another 3 matches, so stick around, okay? See you in a couple.
Welcome back to the DrMC as we've taken a moment to catch our breath from that breathtaking round two matchup of JonDatFlindo and Frank pulling off the reverse sweep. And that's only the beginning of round two. Now we got another one where we got a 12 and 13 seed. We've got Inphlox versus Dars. You want to tell us about that one, Savage?
Yeah, I mean, we have these 2 players with upsets against Watchma and Swang. And I mean, both of these players, excellent players. This is going to be their second meeting ever. They have not met this year. So we haven't seen them tested against each other. But, you know, Influx was last year's champion, taking down Frank in the finals. And in in last year's tournament, Dars was the 13th seed and made it into round 1, but didn't make it out, I think. So this is gonna be a big matchup.
Yeah, Influx is my policy is always if someone wins a championship, then they're the champion until somebody beats them. And therefore Influx is the defending champion, so I'm going to refer to him as the champion. But this is going to be very interesting. Influx has an incredibly good track record in round two with an average of 655, which is even better than Frank's
Hmm.
by a few seconds.
Yeah, and that is just a second slower than Dars's PB in this level block, which is 654. So Dars has his work cut out for him.
He certainly does, but as we've just seen, you can take all the averages and statistics and just chuck them out the window because any given match, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, with the combo that Dars just fired off, very exciting stuff is going to happen for sure.
Nice little lightning log there by Inphlox during his practice round.
Ah, yes, lightning log, the sideways lightning bolt. We got all kinds of great names here in the Dr. Mario community. We've got your sweet teas, we've got your fat logs, your lightning bolts, lightning logs, short stacks, lotus
We like
clears.
to make things up in DrMC. Not all of it sticks, but a good
Yeah,
chunk of it does. We like our vocabulary and vernacular.
yeah, it's pretty fun.
Influx looks like he just wants to finish out this level 20 before he gets started.
With a little bit of swag strats. He is very close to the top of the leaderboard on speedrun.com on 0 through 20.
I believe he has a sub 56, does he not? Or 36, pardon me. I hope he has a sub 56.
All right. Oh, he is drinking out of his Dr. Mario championship mug. So we do have a merch store. So you can order that mug there. It's nice to have Influx be a corporate shill for us. Thank you so much.
Yes, we do have merch. Check out the link brought up by our resident bot and by Larva. Thank you very much.
Now Influx showing us that cutscene with the flying saucer coming down and taking the aliens. I have literally never seen that before. And 3, 2, 1 pills. Like that is literally the first time I've ever seen it.
Really? Have you
Yeah.
played 20 high?
Yes, but I've always like skipped it.
Oh yeah, the
It's just like
speedrunner's
a
instinct.
yeah, exactly. Plus the start strat. So both players off to the races here. Now Dars's board not looking as nice to me as Influx's just by colors because of all that blue that's on the left hand side. But
Yeah, that extra yellow fragment on column 6 is a bit of a problem because it restricts access to the red
mhm.
virus on column 5.
Yeah, but now he has that cleared out. Meanwhile, nice double vertical there from Influx, and I thought he was going to take the lightning rod there in column 6, but chooses not to. Now his task is going to be clearing out all of this blue and hoping that it shows up.
Yeah, and if you don't get any blue pills to do that, there's really not much you can do. But now he's going to get a double blue, and that's going to help get him set up to
Hmm.
do just that. He has at least a good number of double opportunities with his blue viruses, so that's going to help cut down on the number that he needs to get out.
Hmm. But
Just
yeah, he is in an awkward situation right there, having to take some drop time,
oh
and that he definitely did not want to do that in columns 2 and 3 there.
yeah,
So,
looks like he's going to set himself up in column 5 to get the drop clear, having to suffer through some drop time here. Now he's going to be able to clear the rest of these red fragments very soon.
that's
Now all
giving
he needs
Dars
is a
the
couple of blue
opportunity
fragments to be out, and Dars is going to be out at. Oh, his
at a
timer's not going.
0. Oh, he has not started his timer. Well, we'll just have to go and retime that. We have had that happen
Yep,
before quite a few
we have the
times.
technology.
Exactly. Now, Dars is working on a nice horizontal there. His board pretty diverse still, and I'm really liking the flat top line. It just makes things so much
Nice all clear
easier.
by Dars there.
Oh, really good. It was actually like a little more than that. It was actually a T, so really nicely done. And he's taken a 6 virus lead over Influx, who has a nice combo of his own with a horizontal into a vertical.
All that all that blue struggling early on with Influx has kind of reared its ugly head, and it's made him fall behind by 7 viruses, but there's plenty of time left to go.
Mhm. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like this level block when it starts, I always feel that level 10 is the natural ending of it, and then you just have one more level. And so it's starting to feel in that little marathon sense that the other ones get up into. So Dars has a really interesting board here. Nice,
I
nice and
like that board.
compact. Yeah. This is really good. This is like tightly wound. I think it's really cool.
The only problem is he needs well, he only really needs 2 blue fragments at
Yeah,
this
this is
point, so
great. Um, yeah, he gets one. Now, Influx is going to tuck these reds in between in column 3, and that's going to make this nice combo happen. And then he's just going to take out these reds horizontally. He's going to be out at a 322, 323. So these two are very close. But this board for Dars, not what I want. Not what anyone
yeah,
really wants to see.
it's got that slope and that peak in the middle of his board. This is gonna help out a little bit, bring down the peak a little, but he really should attack the middle of his board as soon as he can. Nice
Hmm.
horizontal clear, taking what he has to play with,
Ooh,
but
really
but a
nice lightning log from Inphlox there.
just a big cluster of red in the middle of Dars's board right now that he has to deal with.
Nice. Influx had a nice lightning bolt there. This is going to be great for him. Look at this T dropping down into giant combos, and just that's kind of, you know, such a signature Influx move, just melting stuff off the board like a nuclear reaction. Very cool stuff.
Yeah. Dars is not getting a lot of chances to attack the middle of his board. He's not getting much red to play with. This T clear is definitely going to help matters at least.
Yeah, but it did leave some garbage there. Now he is going to have to manage that. Nicely done. Sees that he needed to take that red blue at the bottom of the board. So things are good if a little bit tight. That's
Oof.
yeah. He did not get
I thought that was
punished.
a terrible misdrop right there, but he had a really quick solve for it.
Hmm.
Almost
That was
misdropped that piece right there, but recovered just in time.
yeah. And Influx just needs one more blue to be out. Of course, not really getting it. Out at a 517.
Meanwhile, Dar's still struggling with his end game a little bit. Now he's got what he needs.
Yeah, I would
Double red would
love.
have been great there, but didn't quite get it.
Mhm. Yep, and
There's
now
the
he
double
gets it.
red, of course.
And so he's out at about a 536-ish for him because we've got Dave confirming that he started about 2 seconds after influx.
All right,
So if I can do the math, with the oxygen
Dave, the
that's left
real
my
MVP.
brain. Yeah, exactly.
Lack of access to blues to start out for Dars.
Hmm.
See, this is what I mean. This RNG can it can only do so much to you in later levels because you pretty much have a place to put everything because there's just so much on the board that you have to clear out. But this is just the point where that's not necessarily the case. You can still have a lot on your
Hmm.
board and then you don't have anything to play for a while because like I see a big yellow staircase in Dars's future
Yeah.
right now.
Ugh, I'm not a fan. But let's
Nobody
take a look
likes
at what
stairs.
yeah, Influx does with a lot of yellow. Nicely done. Yeah, and he has the opportunity for a nice T, takes it, drops down on top of column 3, and has the opportunity to build more horizontals. And there he goes. He's going to do this.
16 virus difference between the players right now. Influx seems to have this pretty well in hand thus far. He's only got
Yeah.
4 more viruses before he's out of here, and he needs blue.
Luckily, he's going to get it. This double blue, huge for him.
Yep, avoiding
And
clears and decides to get the no clear fat log anyway. And he's out at 716.
Nicely done. So he's gonna take game one more game. Now, is Dars able to bring the same kind of drama that we just saw? Let's hope so.
Indeed. It'll be hard pressed to top it, but it'd be pretty impressive nonetheless.
And Dars
Dar's just
finishing it out.
waiting
Oh,
for. Oh, it
yeah,
looks like he's just going to go ahead and
yeah.
top out now.
Yeah, and certainly with the, buried red in the left-hand corner, I mean, I think I wouldn't finish that out. Alright. Woo, okay.
Game 1 to Inphlox. The winner of the series will move on to face JonDatFlindo in the semifinals tomorrow.
Wow. Very, very exciting. Alright, we're
R's
working on
asking if
getting.
his timer works. Let's see if we
Yeah.
can test it real quick.
Ooh. Bidwell
BSG
saying,
says blow on the timer.
"I don't think you're supposed to do that." Maybe you've got a like a Q-tip with some,
With some rubbing
rubbing
alcohol, some
alcohol.
isopropyl.
Alright, we're gonna fix this because we wanna see this in real time. Alright. Oof. So Influx also a very strong versus player, as we've seen. He was in the top 8
Yeah,
both years, both 2021 and 2022 of the
he was in
DrMC.
fact a semifinalist in 2021 as well.
Yes. And he
The
was
inventor of the
wearing.
umbrella strat.
Yes, yeah, you should go back and check out that video. That was against you, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And he did it in a unicorn onesie, no less. Now he is getting his mascot on stream. We're gonna see Influx Kitty as Dar is working on setting up his timer.
Cat percent call out in chat.
We do love our pets of Dr. Mario. If you
Yes, we
check out
do.
our if we check out our Discord, we've got a lovely cuddly pets channel.
Guards might be having issues with OBS right now.
Oh, I was wondering, he looks very, very still. And although Dar seems to be a calm individual, I don't think anyone can keep that still.
Yeah. Unless perhaps they're a professional poker player, which, if you've seen our reactions to this game, you know we're not poker players.
Now, I mean, Floyd could be. Let's not lie. Ooh, we've got
Now
Influx
we got
versus
double
Influx.
vision.
Well, my money would be on Influx there, Packy. What do you think?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Now we see on screen 2 Influxes. My money would be on Influx in this case.
I don't know. Influx looks pretty tough.
Yeah, it's anyone's game, I guess.
BSG wants the mirror match.
Now, yeah, it would be really
It's like
great.
Dr. Mario shadow boxing. It looks like we're starting to get Dars back on here.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, we just have to build the anticipation right there,
Influx
Packy.
has given us both readies, by the way.
Ooh, yeah, Influx versus Dark Influx. I like it. Ah, okay, great. We got Dars back, and he's got ready, and Influx ready twice. And he jumped the gun a little bit. And three, two, one, pills.
We are go for game two between Dars and Influx. Easy for me to say. And we've got a timer and everything.
Excellent. Now, Dars has no use for reds on the top of his board. So, and actually, pretty not much use for anything other than yellow. So, this is not a great start for him.
Yeah, this is a tough early board for
Ugh.
Dars. A lot of yellow, red blues are just completely useless to him. That's a nice little drop horizontal at least. He's making the most of what he's getting, but while he struggles on the top of his board, Influx has already jumped out to a 12 virus lead.
Yeah, but that's going to slow down really quickly, I think. Notice
Oh
that
yeah, that's
basically
a
it's just all red yellow. Now, this is going to be
well,
great.
that's gonna help.
Beautiful, beautiful combo there.
But now he's hamstrung by a distinct need for yellows.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's column 6, 7, and 8. Possibly going to have to take some drop time.
And there's a lot of yellow on Dars's board as well.
Hmm. Oh, this double blue,
Oh, I like
2 in a
that
row,
move.
really nice. Yep. And yeah, just like that, things are much more even there now between Dars and Influx. Influx tucking into column 8 and getting the drop down there, but he missed the opportunity to get those blues horizontally, that red in column 5 in the way, but now Influx out at a 141.
Considering how he got hamstrung halfway through the level, that's not a bad time at all.
Yeah, and now Dars just needs one more yellow and he'll be out at a 159.
Tough level for Dars. He really got him early on, but now it looks like he's starting to run free a little bit on this level 9. Let's see what he decides to do with this influx of blue that he's getting. Not to be confused, of course, with influx.
Influx, exactly. This is Influx's board is interesting. He's got like a red blue story on the left, and then like yellow blue on the right, finally sort of opening up some diversity there.
Yeah. Dars might be a little scrambled. It's hard to determine what to do with all of this junk that he's getting right now.
Yeah. Looks like the red horizontal is what he's planning, and there he goes. He gets what he wants and clears
Nice.
out a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, he is behind the 8 ball here.
Yeah, it's still early. He still has time to catch up, but Influx is really running hard out of this level 9 right now.
Hmm. Yeah, Dars had a really nice tuck there, to sort of clear it out horizontally and build up a vertical. Now
It looked like
Influx.
Influx was going for a chain of horizontals to get out of this level, but perhaps an unexpected clear cleared out more fragments than he really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, he's out of that level already, so
Yeah, really good
there's a
time.
fat log set up on Dars's board, and there it is.
Nice. Gotta love the fat log.
Dars has
Now,
really good setups on. I mean, his board is spired, but he only needs one fragment to clear each of the
hmm,
columns that isn't column 8 at least.
yeah,
And
and
he's
notice,
gonna start building bridges and try to get 0 drops here.
yeah, and that's a good move, especially because that red was not the urgent color, building up to it. Not a bad thing. He's out at a 411. Influx already almost 20 viruses ahead, though.
Hopefully, fortune turns a little better for Dars at this point, but now he has a lack of access to blues. These have been some pretty brutal boards for Dars.
Mhm. definitely. Not sure where Influx is going because these reds here at the top of the board, he's had a couple of options to take him out horizontally, finally gets
Here
the
we
double
go.
red. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. Was just
those
waiting
of
for
yeah.
what he wanted.
And those of us who are familiar with Dr. Mario's double red fury will sometimes hold out. Will sometimes hold out for those double reds.
Mhm. Influx taking out these blues horizontally at the bottom of the board. Nice setup there. He'll be
This
able
is
to
a
clear
great
out.
end game for Influx right here.
Yeah. And there he goes, out at a 514.
Out at a 514, 25 viruses ahead of Dars, who's just been pretty unfortunate so far in terms of the RNG, in terms of the boards he's getting.
Mhm. Yeah, nice drop down from Influx, taking that double blue down in column 6. Looked like, he could have put it over into column 8, and you're wondering why doesn't he do that? But it's for that nice drop that's there, and he gets a nice T as well to drop
Hmm.
down.
I was actually thinking Influx's board was being nice drop combo by Dars
Timber!
there.
Dropping that fat log.
But as I was saying, Influx's board, it actually looked pretty scrambled to me, and I didn't quite realize what he was doing. I just wasn't looking at the right side of his board and seeing what he already had set up there.
Now Dara's into level 11, but he is half a level behind Influx, so Influx would have to get a pretty giant slowdown to have trouble here. Nice tuck from Dars there to get those reds off horizontally.
Some good drop combos from Influx as well, trying to get this one done. Looks like he's holding out for a or for a horizontal clear. And this double blue, he just
Didn't,
goes ahead and
yeah.
uses it to clear out the garbage instead of.
I
Well, he
think
has
he's,
options as far as that horizontal. He can get it on either side, so it's not a really big deal.
yeah, I
Oh,
think Influx
he's
is
gonna.
going for maximum swag.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that's
this
that's
is
what's happening right now.
swagtastic right
Yeah,
here, and this
there
is
it
gonna
is.
end
Yep.
it.
Mhm.
Bang, 714.
Yep. And DARS with a 26 virus deficit at the end. Just not the story that we wanted to see there from those boards.
Yeah,
But
tough
GG's from
luck for
both
Dars in that
players.
match, but some good play nonetheless.
Yeah. Ooh, I really wanted him to put those blue reds on column 8.
Yeah.
Make that nice combo.
It seems like his eyes are on the bottom of the board, though. That's probably why
Yeah.
he didn't see that.
Meanwhile,
Now let's
okay.
see
All
if he
right.
does it.
Oh, what?
Oh, looks
I
like
wanted to do it. Do it. Do it.
ah,
Oh, no.
Darsn't it?
Well,
That was terrible. But yeah,
all right. Well, GG's to both players. Influx is going to move on and face JonDatFlindo in the semis. So you'll see them tomorrow night. In just a few minutes, you're going to see Atalito versus Floyd. So stick around.
And welcome back to the Dr. Mario Championship. I'm Luke the Librarian. Joining me in the booth is Swong. Swong, we have a great match coming up between Atalito and Floyd. Gotta say, we've had some really good second round matchups. What do you think of this one?
Man, this is just what we wanted to see there. We have Atalito, who's been putting on a clinic this whole entire season, and Floyd, who's also just as great, just tearing through the leaderboards with their smoking hot times. So, given any given day, it's going to be any point in between these two players, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen between these two titans here.
Yeah, and after seeing that combo that Atalito had queued up for us, I think he's put the sleep paralysis behind him. again, I don't remember exactly what the time difference is out there, but it's early, and yeah, he's definitely getting himself back into the game. So, Savage telling us that it's 4:30 in the morning. Thank you,
Good
Atalito.
Lord.
Yeah, I
And
knew it was
you're
early. I didn't
playing-
know it was that early. So, we've got readies from Floyd. I probably missed a ready from Atalito. I did not. Okay. So once we've got readies from both players, it's going to be time to set this second round match up.
We do have it ready from Atalito. The readies are in, and Floyd, we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and pills between the two players of Atalito, our 3rd seed, and Floyd 1977, our 6th seed here.
These two have never actually met before, but they've both spent a lot of time in finals. Atalito taking the top seed in a couple of tournaments. He's a 2-time runner-up. Floyd's a 2-time champion and 1-time runner-up. So a lot of late tournament experience between these two, and yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from these boards. Nothing that's too terrible. I mean, it's not the greatest, but I like especially what Atalito has managed to put together.
Yeah, he was maneuvering pills and dropping them all down and making the best work of what he was given. It didn't seem intuitive at first to play some of the pills in which Atalito did, but he managed to clear it up in a very timely fashion to just drop everything down. Looking to fire off, there goes that horizontal yellow, taking 3 off the board and just needing a couple reds to be out. He's playing this like a 6 to 9 here, Ook. This is a really fast time from Atalito.
Yeah, the times that we've gotten used to from 6 to 9, I mean, that's a 114. That's I'd be perfectly happy coming out of 6 with a 114 in a first round match, I gotta say.
It looks like the meta that Atalito's presenting us with is try to get a PB strat in here, and looks like that's the hand he's trying to show Floyd here. Meanwhile, Floyd maintaining a really quick and clean, tidy board. He's out at 133, which is also a really great time for this level block.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are, I mean, these guys are where they are for a reason. They are 2 of our better players. And what can you say? They're smoking these levels. Atalito having to deal with a little bit of garbage right now, and that's going to give Floyd a chance to catch back up if he gets the pills that the doctor needs to give him, because right now it's very 2-color in lots of patches in that board.
He needed a lot of reds, and the doc just was not giving him a lot of reds here. Luckily, has managed to chip away to diversify the board a little bit. Still needing a little bit of red axis, but has setups upon setups to drop the yellow down in that second column, clears the garbage out instead, but manages to chip away at the board here, and is now getting presented with the rest of the reds here.
Now, maybe it's just that I haven't seen him play in a while, but it seems to me that Floyd is pressing down a lot harder than we usually see from him. I'm wondering if it's because he knows what Atalito's capable of. Oh man, look at this! Not quite a fat log, but that was really pretty from Floyd. I'm wondering if that's kind of driving his play right now.
Most definitely. I think as you mentioned, these two have actually never played, and I find it really surprising that these two have never actually faced off in a match here. So Floyd is throwing his jabs, getting a feel for the first few rounds here, and he's kind of just scoping out how Atalito's playing that set of runs here. Floyd's out of the 317 with a barge of reds in the center of his board, and if he gets reds here, he's going to make quick work of this level 10 here, Ook.
I'm really curious. Okay, so Atalito sets up that double yellow. He's waiting for this pill right here, blue yellow, which sets up his combo. I was kind of wondering what he was going to decide to do, because no easy solution really presented itself based on the plans that he was making. But Adelito's kind of forcing things in and making them work. And with Floyd really, well, previously hamstrung by the Reds, now that double red blitz kind of helped him out. That was really working for him. But now Floyd is starting to come back, and we will see kind of where things are going there, Swan.
And as you say that, Atalito, I was trying to figure out and decipher what he was trying to do. It looked like he was telegraphing the vertical clear on the Reds. He had a lot of horizontal setups upon setups ready to fire off, but the pill sequencing just wasn't happening in the way that he would like, conducive to how he set it up. So he's managed to clean it up here. Atalito has this style where he tends to turn garbage into gold later, and he'll worry about what the repercussions are later, and he'll figure it out. And he has made quick work in both his times and the matches that he plays here, Ook. And he is down to his final 4 viruses, electing to look like he's going to clear the reds down, the yellow horizontally, and then drop everything down. And I think the red pill, well, he'll have to clear that out so he can get access to the blues here.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a burial situation going on. Looks like he's going to do the blues horizontally, and does get the pills that he needs. So out of the 514, but again, that has left Floyd a little bit of an opportunity to start catching up. He is just needing 2 more yellows now. There's 1, there's 2. So out of the 522. So we're looking at about an 8-second difference as these two get into the final level of this level block.
They're breathing down each other's neck. It's a close game. Floyd is managed to close the gap a little bit between this last level, and both these players are excellent in these last level blocks. The block of viruses are chunked together in a way where clears are going to be a lot quicker, and these players are both managing to put together and string together some amazing combos. Atalito looking for a double red, gets the amazing cross, drops down and clears up a big chunk of his board here. He's down to 31, Ook.
Yeah, that hero combo took a little bit to set up. Luckily, this one didn't leave him with a ton of garbage. He does have a little bit that he's got to clean up, especially with that tree over on the right-hand side, now leaving a little bit of garbage underneath. But that has kept Atalito still with just about a 3 virus lead over Floyd, who is again looking at a very red heavy board and having to decide, what is it that he's going to do to make this work. Unfortunately, the doctor not quite giving him enough red to really make it through quickly, and he's having to make suboptimal decisions, and that's just the way the game. It's kind of what the game is forcing him into. But now we're looking, and these two are tied up with just the clock difference between them.
Atalito, I thought he was going to go with some fat log hero combo there. Manages to chunk it down, looking for just blues to clear out the board here. The dock was not favorable for Floyd's efforts in the sense that he just wasn't getting any reds, but manages to diversify it and still make this one a game here. Ook, he's down to his final 5 and is looking to clear up the rest of it.
Yeah, with Atalito out at a 7-11. Go get your Slurpee, folks. This is this has been a good play for both players. But yeah, as you said, Floyd 21 seconds behind. 7:32, still a great time, but not enough when you're facing Atalito here.
7:32 is a fantastic time. Players are looking to get anywhere between the low 7s within this level block here. Even winning times could be low 8s and even high 7s. So 7:32 is a great time. But as you said, it's just, Atalito was just torching his way through. But, Floyd will bring it back. He will definitely put on a show for us.
Oh, yeah. If ever there were a match that was calling for a decider, it would be this one. All right. We've got our 3-2-1 pills in chat. Atalito out first. Floyd not too far behind. Rather similar boards when it comes to color distribution. Limited red on the top, a lot of yellow blue, but the pills are coming out and giving both players the opportunity to show off what they know. And I saw a little shock from Atalito. I didn't see the pill. I was watching Floyd's board, so you'll have to tell me what happened.
Yeah, so there was a look of grimace on Atalito's face. It looked like he was telegraphing a horizontal potential setup. Tucked the pill over just a little bit too much, which cleared the board, but kind of conflicted with his original set of plans. So the drop time ate away at his plans. He's now stuck with a couple spires in the third and fourth column, and has to be flexible with that little a bit of an error that he made, but not a critical error, just something that just wasn't how he envisioned it.
And that's given Floyd a bit of a lead. Although I will say Floyd having to make some calls that he didn't want to make. He had a lot of yellows lined up horizontally, and the way the doctor gave him pills, the way everything was lined up, it just didn't make sense to try to run them horizontally. And that's kind of unfortunate for Floyd because there's some really good options there, but he's going to get out at a 122. So pretty healthy lead as wow, Atalito just dropping a combo and making that lead seem almost like nothing.
Floyd prioritized the pills properly. He created a ledge to minimize the drop time if the event that he got pills that just weren't going to advance his board. So smart of Floyd for doing that. As we said before, every row of drop time adds a quarter of a second. And so that high up would have added easily about 2 seconds to Floyd's board. Meanwhile, he looks like he just needs some yellows to chunk it away. Takes a little bit of a drill to open his board up and add a little bit of multi-direction clears to tackle the possibilities of a set of bottom and his clear here ook on his board.
Yeah, he's having to tuck everything below if it's blue. Let's see if he decides to. Okay, he decides not to try to swim it out all the way. Did have the opportunity with that blue on his very last column or his last row to try to get that horizontally, but decides it's not worth the effort. I can't say that I blame him, although on medium speed, that is something that you can do.
Meanwhile, it's looking like everything is going to be cleared out, mostly vertical for the rest of Floyd's endgame. Pretty conducive to his style of play. Everything is chunked in a way where horizontals are not easily accessible. So this is for Floyd. He's going to make pretty quick work, I think, once the pill sequencing comes his way. And it looks to me like, he as we said, he's making some quick work. But oh no, Atalito with a bunch of reds in his board. Oh my god.
Yeah, he took out most of his remaining blues, and I think his last yellow in a nice big hero combo. He's got these reds set up for a combo, but now he is forcing himself to. He needs another red blue, and then a double blue or anything with blue on it to finish this up. Finally gets it out of the 331, but Floyd already out of his level 9 and getting a healthy start into this level 10 as Atalito catches up with him.
I was expecting Atalito to attack the red underneath. He ended up going for a drop T, and I think he could have managed to clear it up from the underneath and set up the set of pills where, wow, and a combo like that, just amazing from Atalito.
Yeah, it was it definitely was the most pill efficient way of doing it. I don't know if it was the most time efficient, and that's really going to be a telling question, as he's looking forward, trying to figure out, what he's going to do next. That question might be lingering there.
He just blew up a bunch of the board with a lot of blues, and it looks to me like that might be. It might have been. I think it was probably the smarter play for Atalito. I mean, it's Atalito. His plays are well above what I can put together, and he manages to make it look absolutely effortless.
Yeah, that's why he's our 0-20 champion at the moment, or world record holder, I should say. As Floyd needs red, and I thought he was possibly going to set that as a horizontal. Maybe he's still going to do that about halfway up his board, but the doctor just not giving him the reds that he needs. And now that he needs to build a platform, of course, the doctor is going to give him plenty of reds. But there's one, there's two. He's out at a 508 and into the last level.
Chat's going to penalize us for not calling Atalito's fat log earlier. He had a yellow-blue fat log, which he could have easily pulled the trigger a couple times, but managed to fire it in a way where he was able to strategically and smartly advance the board over there. But Atalito out at about a 526, 527, and Floyd is saying, "Hey, look, we're not over yet. We're gonna go to a decider."
Yeah, Floyd's definitely wanting that decider. Interestingly enough, did not at any point take that big plate of blues out all at once, the way I was kind of expecting him to when I first saw the board open up. Uh, he had a lot of double opportunities. I think he even had a quad going on in there. So some interesting choices from Floyd. We'll see how things work out, as his blue is pretty limited in this end game.
Yeah, as you said, blue, that was the thing I was looking at towards the end of his game. All his blues are tucked at the bottom, and he's going to need to set up some sequencing with some strategic garbage to drop and make sure that the blues are set up in a place that isn't going to impact his board too much. I think maybe prioritizing it where yellows and blues are paired up next to each other, or reds and blues, in case those two pills come up in that sequencing here. And Floyd knows it. He's shaking his head.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Atalito showing why he is where he is in this game, because it didn't take very much of anything to give him an opportunity that he has taken, and he is down to his last 5 irises, and it looks like he might be taking this one as long as the doctor gives him just a few more reds. He looks to be punching his ticket into tomorrow's semifinals. But it's going to depend on red. And we know sometimes the doctor likes to be stingy, but there's 1, there's 2, and there's a 3rd. He is out at a 715. So GG's to Atalito, GG's to Floyd, as Atalito continues on in this tournament and will be facing, I have it somewhere.
I believe the winner of our next match.
Winner of our next match, yes.
Soon, yeah. Floyd finishing this one out between these two. Don't blame him.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It was set a board here. It was just like all the blues are tucked away. Last bit of reds here. 7:46, still a fantastic time, but when you're facing the beast as Atalito, 7:15, 7:46 isn't going to cut it there. But very good job for both these players here, Ook. Good evening, folks. How y'all doing today? Welcome to the Dr. Mario Championship channel. I'm Swang, and we're going to be calling the last match here alongside with Ook. Ook, we have 2 fantastic players between Packy and Savage Octagon. What can you tell us about these 2 stalwarts of the community?
Well, I mean, been around the Dr. Mario Championships any length of time, you are familiar with both of these names. One strikes fear in your heart. The other might do the same. I don't know. It depends on what you're afraid of. But in Savage Octagon, we of course have one of our board members. We've got somebody who has, she plays her heart out every time, and has a little bit of a disadvantage here, and that her average is about 30 seconds behind Packy's, but she's always been one of our strongest players. With Packy, you have now tied for the most wins of all time with his win in the first round. So he and Dimwit both have 54 wins all time in this tournament. They've both been around here forever. Packy's a 3-time champion. These 2 have played 4 times already. Packy winning the first 3, all 3 last year, and then Savage taking the win in round 1 in October. So a little bit of a grudge match. But honestly, these 2, they know each other. They're friends, and that none of that matters right now because they're out for blood.
I'll say they're gonna put it aside, them put on a show for us, but at the end of the day, 2 competitors enter, 1 will leave.
I mean, they'll both leave. Just one will leave with a win.
That's true. There you go. Fair enough. Fat log warm up from Packy here. He's getting his fingers are rolling, fingers are moving here, and looks like these 2 are going to be squaring off with the final match of this evening. Packy 619, our 2 seed, and Savage Octagon, our 7 seed.
These 2 went exactly to chalk in their first, and Savage hoping it doesn't do that. Packy, well, he hopes and expects to make it happen. So I'm very, very excited to see this. It's fever versus chill. It's high versus high. It's 8 through 11, best of 3. We've got our readies. Let's get this going.
We got West Coast versus East Coast. We have both players probably sipping water, I'm assuming. I mean, they're staying hydrated. It's going to be an absolute slugfest between these two.
We've got possibly the most Apache space we will ever see in a tournament match.
Getting a little bit of a readjustment between these two players. Makes sense here. Savage getting back on her de facto number of 8.
All right.
Thank you, Dave. And we're going to get a countdown here, Ook. DrMC bot with 3, 2, 1, and pills. Let's do this.
Dave showing why he's our contributor of the year. All right, Packy with a double to start off with and a double on top. 3 doubles in a row. You can't beat that to start off a board.
And he placed it in a weird spot. I mean, he's got a lot. He's got a big gap on that right side of the board, which is a whole bunch of yellows. Luckily, the doctor is giving him the pills he needs, so yellow isn't that much of an issue. But is just chunking everything down to advance the board, and that's going to expose most of his board, which is exactly what he needs to make quicker work of this level 8.
Absolutely. And with Savage, you see all of these doubles. Unfortunately, they all come with a lot of drop time. So she's trying to figure out ways to stagger things, to make them not drop down too much. That yellow in column 3 would be a perfect candidate for the last thing you play, except that there's a lot of other stuff on top. And yeah, a lot of float. There's just a lot of floating in this board for Savage.
It's difficult to piece together on Savage's board sequencing of double pills. We'd like to try and pair the blues and the yellows, the reds and the yellows, and try to get as many doubles and triples as possible. But with the gap in the spacing with her board, it's difficult to piece those together in a way where it's not eating it away by adding a drop time, as you said there. Ooh. But she's down to her final bit of viruses here. Electing to horizontally clear that red at the bottom. I like that bracket clears the reds and yellows, and just needs one more red to get out. But Pack is out at 134 as we say that.
Savage is out at a 135. So yeah, these two are just in a dead heat coming out of level 8.
Throwing jabs, getting a feel for it. This is, as you said, their 4th meetup that they've had with their entire rivalry going on. Savage is looking to drop down the blue and yellow to chip away, but looks to me like she's going to she has a lot of reds sparsed in the spot where it looks like there's going to be some horizontals and verticals, and just not able to access them until she clears up the remaining part of her board to get those reds there, Ook.
Yeah, that blue on the top has been a bit of a pain for her. But we see with Packy, red had been a big part of the top of his board as well. So, it's just which color is going to be the problem this time. As Packy gets a nice sweet tea clear, it does de-optimize, I guess is the word for it, the blues that he wants to pair at the bottom. But he continues to find ways to make that happen.
He managed to chunk it down, and any blue pills now are not easily accessible, and in fact is a limiting reagent on this board. So he's going to use the reds and yellows to advance the remaining portion of it. I was a little concerned with those first 2 reds since they were stacked vertically, but he had it out to make it where he could just clear it with 1 red half or 2 red halves. So it ended up not being an issue in that case.
A limiting reagent. What do you think this is? Biochemistry? Just making medicine and pills. All right, as Savage is out at a 324, Packy not too far behind, actually 334. So, Packy with that hair flick, that is actually a sign that he knows he's behind and is just not happy with where he was. And that means he's going to be redoubling his efforts to catch back up because he now expects that he is behind.
And Packy will play absolutely like a man possessed when he is behind. This is a trademark Packy style of play. You never want to give Packy an inch. It's one of those moments where he's just so brilliant at being able to play behind the 8 ball, being able to play under pressure. The man keeps his composure. And it's really just, you're going to see some amazing things if he even suspects that he is behind, and he will just play better than what he does, which is already really great.
Absolutely. And, I did mention to Packy before the match, probably for Savage's sake, shouldn't have, that a win here would put him at first all time in number of wins. But that might have been a mistake as far as Savage is concerned. We shall see. Because really, I've seen him play like that whenever he loses the number one in a hot time. Uh, it doesn't take much to set a pack attack going. And when it goes, oh boy, you better be ready for it.
And any reason for Packy to try and get a PB or a record, he will be hunting and sniffing down those PBs at any given point. It looks like he is electing to clear the bottom port with a fat log. No, that's a smart play. I think it's a smart play to open up the yellow that's just really tucked away at the bottom here.
Yeah.
But gets the fat log.
Packy's got to figure out what he's doing there on that right hand side. As Savage out at a 514, Packy out at a 522. So it appears on our screens to be a dead heat, but Savage does still maintain just a small lead because of the disparity in the timers.
The small lead and Packy trying to chip away there. It looks to me like he is going to need a lot of blues to advance the board. Manages to drop down the blue and red to place that yellow in a very smart place. No garbage on his board so far. Very clean. I'm liking his game so far. And meanwhile, Savage has just dealt with a barge of reds on her side there, Ook.
Yeah, Savage's first few pills were not very helpful. And as a result, Packy has been chipping away pretty hard at this lead and probably has regained the lead himself. It's with the timer disparity, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going to happen until we get to it. But this level 11 might not be ideal for Savage to finish this up here. But nothing is over till the fat lady sings. And, there's still, I don't hear any arias going on yet.
Looks like, as you're saying, arias and opera singers singing their hearts out. Packy looks like he's orchestrating some magic in this board here, dropping everything down, and he's in need of, I like this blue-yellow coming up. A T, massive T dropping down, no garbage left on his board. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, Packy has those plays. Unfortunately, he has buried those blues, so he's going to have to either uncover them or uncover one side or the other. And looks like he is going to try to go for that right-hand side. This may be exactly what Savage needs, although she's going to need exact pill sequences to finish this off. She gets 1, she gets 2, she gets 3. Savage is out at a 721 and does, in fact, win the first match by 11 seconds. It was a very close one, but GG's to both players. Everybody take a breath. Let's do it again.
Take a breath, stay hydrated, shake out the nerves. It was down to the wire. It was literally an 11-second game between these two, and just Savage pulling ahead at that last moment here, maintaining what I think would be her composure with that, but we have nerves from both players. We'll shake it out. We'll get it there. As we know, Packy behind the 8 ball plays dangerous, plays amazingly well, so it's going to be a great game.
And Packy's not going to have his gallon jug up. I'm going to grab mine real quick. So we're used to seeing Packy with that super big gulp. Savage needs to... Okay, there we go. About to say, she was on like level 13 instead of level 8. It's not what we wanted there.
We have a ready from both players here. As both players wipe the sweat off their palms, wipe the sweat off their faces, they shake their hands out. DrMC bot gaming us say 3, 2, 1, and pills.
Like what you're seeing, be sure to give us a follow as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just want to pitch that out there while we've got a second.
Excellent. Yeah, we have our prior matches. We have the level 25 podcast that was on there. It's a cool place to see past matches, see the prior standings, and it's a cool place to hang out.
All right. So with this, Savage has a very flat board. This is, I know the sort of thing that you always try to do there, Swang, setting it up pretty flatly, but I think the doctor took care of most of it for her. Not as floaty as what Packy's got, and I think she's going to be able to use that to her advantage, but it does also mean that everything's really packed in there.
Packed tightly, and now with no access to blue, every blue pill is going to be used as strategic garbage, or perhaps dropping it down to clear that up. If she gets that, I think her top priority should be to prioritize clearing out the non-blue pills, or in that case, have it where she can make it with minimal drops with the brackets and clears like that. So she actually is using that quite strategically.
Yeah, she finds a use for some of this blue. I'm wondering if she's going to go ahead and try to do this horizontal. It's going to require getting rid of some more blues, but it doesn't matter for Packy. He's already out at 129.
Yeah, it looks like Savage. Yeah, he's out at 129. Savage looks like she will. Okay, so she has an open board for the red pills and the rest of it there. She looks like she's going to take the yellows and the other two reds horizontally to efficiently use her red pill halves.
Yeah, but she's out at a 147, which is quite a bit behind there. So you're gonna have to pick up and start catching up if she wants to knock this one out in a sweep. Otherwise, it is gonna be Packy making a decider. And
Savage,
we love our deciders.
We certainly do. We love the drama. We love the fantastic plays. Packy was suffering from, it looked to me like he didn't really have a lot of color diversity on his board. And as I was saying that earlier, Savage ended up chipping away at the blues and yellows on her side with a short stack. I believe she didn't have any sort of rotation to drop it down, just place it down. Real simple strategy to just open the board up. Almost like textbook Dr. Mario, and a great drop cross from Savage. Wow.
Yeah, that was really nice. Again, though, we're still looking at quite a few virus lead for Packy. While he does have everything pretty well spired, the doctor hasn't been too unkind, so it looks like he's going to get what he needs. A little bit of drop time, but now just red, yellow. Now he just needs a blue, and he'll be out at a 306.
Excellent set of sequencing from Pack. He had the blue yellow. He tucked it in. Tried to minimize the drop when you have the sequencing like that. So he was able to get it where he was able to drop down the pills in a way where it would minimize the time. And that's ultimately what we want to see with any sort of plays that he's given dealt here. Savage looks like she's telegraphing a possible fat log. No, that's okay. She does the horizontal drop is just as good.
Okay, I thought she was going to go for the red first. She goes for the blue first, then takes the red, out at a 334. So, giving Packy 30 seconds to play around in 10. Although Savage does get a triple first thing. And if she can get this D sandwich on the right-hand side, she'll have an opportunity to pick up another one as well.
Savage looking like she is making quick work of this. She has a nice, colorful top line. We like to see the vibrancy with the colors there. Makes it easy to choose all of your colors of the pills equally and easily. But unfortunate for that, it looks like Packy just has this swath of reds on his board in order to continue with it. But looks like he's going to drop a nice little lotus clear from Pack to get that yellow down with a nice horizontal drop.
Yeah, I'm loving the combos that I'm seeing on Savage's side, but again, it's just Packy is playing his heart out right now, and he's going to have this really nice setup. It's going to be just one more red, and that's going to finish him out for the level. It is going to introduce some drop time, but he's out at a 455, so sub 5 minutes going into level 10, not bad.
Fantastic. And as we said before, Pack, when he is behind 8-ball, he plays like a man possessed. And this is what we're seeing here, folks. Making short work of it. We are down to the final level of this run. Packy dealt with a bunch of blue pills, and unfortunately that's not what he needs, but is making quick work by using it as strategic garbage to advance his board.
Yeah, Packy definitely just barreling through the first few pill sequences here. And honestly, even if when you're getting, we talk about the 6, 7, 8 second advantages that you can get at the beginning of a level, and it seems like it doesn't do much. I mean, it's 14 viruses right now, but the difference is that Packy already has all of his setups started, whereas Savage is going to have to start building hers. That's really the advantage you get as you're coming out of a level first, and Packy's showing kind of what that really means.
And Packy with that Tuck Lightning Bolt a little earlier in the level here, he's maintained a nice color diversity with his whole board. He can tackle it left, right, up and down, vertically, horizontally. He has everything nice up, and a nice fat bolt from Packy. Wow.
Yeah, and he's given himself the opportunity. Looks like he's going to put that red on top. That's what I would expect.
What a
from
nice drop combo.
Yep.
And a
Out of the
622.
622.
What a fast time here. Where is that place for the all-time hot times here? Ook?
That I don't know. I'm looking it up as we speak. Wait,
Let's
I've got
fire
it on my.
Come on, internet, don't fail me now. 8 to 11 all time. That puts him at the third fastest time in 8 to 11 block of all time here. Well done, Pack.
Yep, not quite a PB. Oh yeah, actually it is a PB. That is a full-on PB.
Third fastest
Packy,
time.
so.
That is amazing. Yeah, crushes and blows up his PB, which was a 635 with a 622. A huge statement win from him.
That is incredible, and it's what we talk about. PB strats. You get a PB, you can probably win. So
hard to beat those PB strats, and Pack showing us why the PB strat is the meta to use.
Absolutely.
Fantastic work there.
And Packy's best prior to this year was a 650. So that 635 came in last year. So, just saying, hey, I got a statement to make, and it's that.
It was great setup. He had the red. He placed it on top. I think it was the blue yellows, and he had to tuck down. So the red was fantastic because he had a couple of options. Vertically, he wanted to drop it down. We got 3-2-1 pills. I'm sorry, I need to pay attention. But as I was saying, he had the double reds. He could have attacked it from underneath, but he saw the next pill was the yellow blue, and he said, you know what? Let's just finish it in one master combo. Let's do this. That's the best way to do it.
I guess I need to refresh my chat because I did not see the 3-2-1 pills. But we continue on. Yes, Packy really making some nice setups at the end of that level. And looking at this level, I gotta say, Savage, that is not a fun level.
She's got a lot of red spires, and that's quite unfortunate to see, especially given that this red-blue tucking in will make the board a little bit easier to play with. But she still has a huge bit of reds there in order to just really make a dent into this board here. It doesn't look too pretty.
Yeah, and anytime you have to burn a double, it doesn't feel good. You don't want to see it. Thankfully, it wasn't a red that she couldn't use, because if she wouldn't been able to use a double red on this board, that would have been a signal that something very wrong had happened. But yeah, it's been a bit of a rough board for her. She's got some opportunities in this end game to really have some fun with it. But look on Packy's side. I thought Savage had it rough. Packy is staring at an all red-yellow board, and I mean, it's just a beast. The doctor's giving him a lot of blue, and I mean, just ugh. And a misdrop.
A little bit of misdrop there. I think the lack of just all this red, yellow staring him in the face was a little precarious to work with here, but it looks to me like he's going to have to vertically clear out that first column, perhaps horizontally clear the red since he has the red stacked up next to it, and then clear up the garbage underneath to access that yellow at the bottom here. It's going to be quite some work, but he can manage through it. Just have to take it one pill at a time.
Yeah, that's really going to be tough for Packy. But he's, like you said, he's capable of it, but this is definitely the sort of place where you'd be resetting on a speed run. But all he's got to do now is not get tilted. He's waiting for anything with yellow on it. Savage was out at a 137, by the way. And man, you hate to see it like this. This is not the way you want to see any match go. So, Swung, yeah, it's Packy. Packy's on that side. Is going to get
Yeah.
out of this, but he's going to be a
Oof.
full minute behind, and we're about to see probably the fastest 9 we've ever seen.
I was holding my breath at that one. He was presented with a tuck and he was stacking his pills up high. It was again, we say this many times. Players, when they perform under pressure like that, you can just see the grace and the poise that comes from it. And to the average player that happens there, as you said, that might be a resetting moment with a 0-20 run or even something like that. But Pac managing to maneuver the pills and put him in a way where he was able to overcome that. And so he's just going to say, you know what? New level, not a problem. Let's do this. I'm still in the fight.
Absolutely. So on Savage's side, we see some really nice setups. She's going to have a really clean end game here if the doctor will just quit giving her a red or yellow blitz. Give her the red. There she's out at a 332. So solid time. But she's you feel for Packy with having all that set up there, but he is really blazing through. Like I said, I knew it was going to be a fast 9, but if everything weren't so floaty, I think he'd already be done. I'll be honest.
And this is one of those questions that the community asks: if you're behind the 8 ball, do you change your play style? And I think when we look at Packy playing, I think he does change his play style. Where if he knows he's behind, or even if he has a slight suspicion that he is behind the 8 ball, I think he plays smarter, quicker, more aggressive. Yet is able to keep his composure and almost play like faster, like a man's life depended on it. So I think we are used to seeing that. But Ook, when it comes to you, do you change your play style up if you feel like you are behind?
I mean, I always feel like I'm behind, so I'm probably not the right person to ask. And generally I'm right, so definitely not the right person to ask. I will say this though, with Savage, all she's got to do right now, speaking of composure, is maintain hers. She can literally, with the disadvantage that Packy, the hole he's got himself dug into, Savage at 505 is out of level 10, and all she has to do is hold serve. If she doesn't make a mistake here, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to be seeing her in the next round. But that's really going to be the question: is will she hold things down? History tells me yes, but I have learned that anything can happen in this tournament, and Packy especially can make anything happen in this tournament.
The guy must be a wizard in his part time because he can just create magic out of nothing. So we're gonna see something like that here. I was looking at Savage's board, and she had a red bubble in the bottom left quadrant of her board. It's going to be interesting if she decides to tuck things in and maneuver them around to minimize the amount of red pills that are being used. And it looks like that's what she's doing. She's down to her final 18 and has a very sizable lead over Packy.
Yeah, Packy is not quite lapped, but it's pretty close. And like I said, we don't want to see a game come down to a single mistake like that. But sometimes that's just the way the doctor is. He's a jerk. We all know it. The Dr. Mario is an absolute jerk. As Savage gets a really nice fat log, and GG's to Savage, who has played an excellent game. I mean, there's definitely, don't want to say that she hasn't absolutely earned this, because 643, that is a great time. In fact, that is good for number 11 on the or it'll be number 12 now on the hot times board. So GG's to Savage, putting down a just phenomenal game. But you hate to see it for Packy. Really want to see him at his best when he, regardless. But GG's to both players, and we will look forward to seeing Savage as she will play against Atalito in the next round.
Savage responding with that get a PB strats. Again, that's the meta to beat Ook, and that seems to be the cause for the majority of our players this weekend already is to do that. And Savage on screen with the statement 6, sub 7 win there with her biggest fan, Mr. Octagon. Also, they are elated. Look at them, huge statement win from that.
And she needs to work on her breathing because with the virus going on, she needs to actually breathe. Savage has been a little bit under the weather. You couldn't tell when she was doing her commentary, but definitely not feeling her best today. So Savage, be sure you breathe.
Savage with a triple win this weekend already. Packy's going to finish this one out, telling the doc, you know what? Not today, doc. Like, that was just one game. I'll be back. And we know Packy will be back stronger than ever, for sure.
Yeah, Packy is, he is still tied as the top in wins in tournament history, and that's not changing this weekend. That is a number that will not change for Packy. So 54 wins over the course of just a couple of years. Packy is a heck of a competitor. And yeah, like you said, we're going to see him right back on the horse at the start of the new year, and it is going to be something to see.
Boy, will it ever. I mean, we'll see it here. Packy, we'll go to the drawing board. He'll say, "Man, doc, we're gonna draft an agreement, and we will not repeat." I guarantee that's gonna be the plan, and we'll see it for sure. We will.
I don't think Packy's particularly prone to violence, but I wouldn't want to be the doctor right now. So yeah, he's frustrated. I get it, but yeah, this time next month, he's going to be sitting on some pretty good qualifiers and ready to really knock things out at the start of the new year. All right, so one last look at our notes. Make sure that I haven't forgotten anything. We do have Savage Octagon planning to do our closing. So, Savage, are you with us? There you are.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay.
Maybe this was a bad idea.
Well, here, I thought I was going to be able to be all calm and relaxed, and oh yeah, I lost to Packy. Surprise, surprise. Wow, that was a fun way to end tonight. Well, I do need to breathe, but everyone,
Savage.
everyone, thank you so much for supporting us on Friday as we started our round 1 and continued, and now we finished up round 2.